Yes,
IT and all that?
they're.
Is it an IT program you're doing?
I'm interested in, my thesis is focused on IT specifically,
Okay, sure.
but the category of integration, there are some kind of gurus, basically, a couple of doctors called Shortell and Gillies,
Okay.
and they put together an integration instrument, which is
Okay.
basically just a really long survey,
Okay.
which breaks down 3 components, one of which is functional, one of which is clinical, and one of which is physician system,
Okay.
and these 3 components of integration coordinate within their survey. Functional has IT inclusive within it. So I'm looking primarily at the functional IT component,
Okay.
but integration itself covers a much wider spectrum
Sure.
that's inclusive of infrastructure and how a physician coordinates with the organization,
Okay.
how people coordinate with one another across the spectrum,
Okay.
not just including the IT.
Sure.
So both,
So,
I
okay.
guess, is the
So like
line.
the social aspects of it as well.
Yes.
Because I mean, for what we're doing anyway, at my level, it's mostly getting the foundations, to integrate in work projects,
So that's not just IT, that's in addition.
Yeah, so there's gonna be like, how do they feel about, this tool for collaborating? How do they feel about it? Is it cumbersome?
Is the tool just IT specific then, the Razor's Edge, or are there other?
Well, in this case, it's actually going to be SharePoint.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
because
right.
the Razor's Edge one is a little bit sensitive, with donor information, and we're probably, we pretty much have a goal, like we're going to get this thing done. So
And we're talking integration.
It's integration. Well, right now there's some people who are dragging their feet. So you're definitely going to get naysayers, but it doesn't really matter. It's going to get done. But we have an RE user group, which is all the database administrators and different foundations meeting together to discuss the plan handed down to us from our consultant, and we're going to kind of, implement it together. So there's a lot of energy in that group. So if there was somehow, maybe, I don't know, like a post 1 year later or something, I don't know. So that's one potent, integration, issue to look into, if you were thinking about it. But then the SharePoint one is definitely one that involves not just the RE administrators, but all the foundation heads and the staff. We're all supposed to be going to be using it. So a bigger pool of people.
So they're both, whether it's the SharePoint or the Razor's Edge, it's both primarily IT based.
Yeah, it is IT based.
Sure.
Yeah, it's IT based.
But it's not IT exclusive, and then you have work groups and other coordinating and integrating infrastructure, not just the IT.
Yeah, but right now, I almost say the IT helps us to work together. Without that, it's like calling the phone, and nobody likes to do that.
Yeah.
Or conference calls, nobody likes to do that. So hopefully, people can actually see themselves as, in a virtual office, virtual workspace. They get in there, just work together, and,
that sounds cool.
So they have like, okay, I'm going to go into...
How many people are involved in the RE task force?
In the RE task force, there's probably about 9 people.
9?
Yeah.
So it's not very many people.
No, it's not many surveys.
Yeah, but with the SharePoint, it's going to be everybody. So it's going to be like the whole foundation staff. It's like 12. Well, how many here? 19 at Sacred Heart.
20.
Around 20, yeah.
20 at Sacred Heart. Then everybody else is probably going to be.
I have that number in the report that I just did.
I have that number.
Okay.
It's not that many.
No, if you add them all up, though, what do you have?
50, that's what I'm saying.
50-ish.
Yeah, no more than 50.
Yeah.
So that might still be a.
You can also go to the board of directors.
Yeah, it would be fun to have the boards kind of be able to access that as well.
You can also
In the survey, that's what Shortell and Gillies did. They didn't just ask the people that were involved when they surveyed them. They also surveyed the boards and anybody associated in terms of their perception of how the software and the IT and other components were contributing to an integrated outcome.
Okay.
And that's a good idea.
I think it's a good idea.
Why don't we...
Because one of the boards kind of thinking...
I think Casey would go for this, but I think it's actually a good idea for us.
Yeah, I think it's good, especially if we kind of